Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN television news for Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. In the headlines, political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, says extended state of emergency is not necessary. Quarantine requirement to be dashed from Monday for fully vaccinated visitors to Grenada. National Brain Bee champion Jaden Stanislaus embraces his experience at the International Championships. Coming up in Around the Globe in Guyana, teachers may soon be given a deadline to get jabbed. Internationally, Bolivia unions go on strike over new terror financing law. Coming up in sports, West Indies women smashed Pakistan by 45 runs in first one-day international series. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories right after this.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Thanks for joining us with the news in detail. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh. The state of emergency was recently extended for another 6 months during the sitting of the lower and upper houses of Parliament, a move the newly elected political leader of the NDC thinks was unnecessary. Gerard Joseph has that story.
Political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, believes it is not necessary for Grenada to be under a state of emergency.
To be frank, if I was in Parliament, I would have voted against the extension of the state of emergency.
Why?
For the very reasons that I just said. A state of emergency means just that. It is short, temporary. You have to satisfy the nation that there is no other means by which you can address the issue that you are facing. And I'm not satisfied in the current context with us having lived with COVID-19 for the length of time that we lived, that it is an emergency. It is not an emergency anymore.
Mitchell says the rationale was understood at the beginning with no science to educate or guide on the virus.
But we can't be telling our citizens that it's okay to live in a state of emergency for 18 months. It's not.
The attorney at law says Grenada's constitution and laws are robust enough to handle a state of emergency.
In the first instance, a state of emergency can be declared for 7 days if you genuinely had an emergency. It could be extended for 21 days. And as a last resort, you have the 6 months extensions. We've had 3 consecutive 6-month extensions. That is going to take us to 18 months. You cannot normalize taking away people's freedom. You cannot normalize taking away people's freedom because that is the march to, you know what? So,
educate me.
Well, if you are taking away people's freedom, it is a march to living in a society in which you're not free. It is a march to living in a society where you're in a police state.
He notes the consequences of such actions in terms of resources to finance the police operations, effects on the economy, physical and mental health must be considered. NDC's leader reiterates that COVID-19 is no longer an emergency based on knowledge now available to treat the pandemic.
But there's something else we need to appreciate. You know, diseases are living things just like us. And we may think we could control them, but we can't. We may be able to take mitigating measures. Hopefully, over a long period of time, we may find a cure or solution to it. But we need to live as well, right? And we need to be able to adapt. And as human beings, I think that's one of our strengths, adaptability. So we need to be able to adapt and live and get on with our lives, notwithstanding the existence of COVID-19. And I think the faster we move the debate in that direction as a nation, the better for us, right? Because it probably will allow us to become more resilient, more creative as to how we get around some of the challenges that we are facing.
Mitchell says no empirical evidence has shown that the spike in COVID-19 cases was related to the carnival activities in August, noting the threat from the virus has always been external. He, however, advocates for the social distancing, hygiene protocols, and healthy lifestyle to continue via collective responsibility. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Cool and composed, Deacon Mitchell is making it clear that his decision to step into the political limelight was premised on his desire to provide a service to his country. His words were profound, assuring the Grenadian people that he won't be going anywhere anytime soon until he makes his contribution to nation building.
I'm saying it's con because if you get involved in public life, you shouldn't only be in it for when it's good. You should be in it for when it's bad as well. The whole point of public life is service, right? And if you are serving, you can't only serve in Parliament, you know. I'm already in the NDC, it's not in Parliament, it doesn't have a seat, and I'm here. So it means I'm prepared to serve, and when I say I'm prepared to serve, I mean I'm prepared to serve. Whether or not the NDC forms the next government, and we believe it will form the next government, you have to serve the public. The point I'm making is that, and this is crucial, you should not want to hold on to power forever. You should want to serve forever, but you don't need power to serve.
Appearing on Monday's Beyond the Headlines, he was asked about the difference between himself and current Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell.
I think because first my leadership is going to focus on the majority of the population. Right? We have to act collectively in the best interest of the population. And I've been saying this repeatedly. That means we need to consult with, engage, and find the solutions, not just from ourselves as potential leaders or politicians, but from the actual members of our society.
And somebody's asking, should the party...
Mr. Mitchell, who is a lawyer by profession, said the whole point of public life is service, with his plan to dedicate at least 10 years of his life towards service to his country.
Because power, if left unchecked, ultimately leads to the ills of some of the issues we are dealing with today. So when it comes to power, that should always have a fixed time. But when it comes to your serving your fellow Grenadians, whether you're in or out of power, there's no time limit on that. So no, I will not quit if we don't win the next election. I intend to offer myself a public service for at least 10 years, and I've said that and I will repeat that. And if you check the election cycle, then you would clearly understand why I'm not quitting if I lost or didn't win my seat or the party didn't get into power.
In other news, national Brain Beat champion Jaden Stanislaus proudly represented Grenada at the just concluded International World Championships. Despite not placing in the top 6, the local champion tells GBN it was a great experience interacting with participants from various countries around the world. Gerard Joseph has been following.
Still a champion in the House of Grenadians, Jaden proudly represented the country at the International Brain Beat World Championships. The national Brain Beat champion tells GBN that teamwork, breaking the language barrier and expanding his knowledge in the field of neuroscience are some of the benefits from his participation.
Besides like the exams that we had to do, we had social activities, we had professors from some of the top universities in the US and UK come to speak to us. So we had a social platform, like all the participants would gather and then like we just interact. We talk about our personal lives and so on. So it was really great getting to know some of them, you know, and like we also helped out each other like with languages. Like for example, who couldn't speak English too well, I helped them out, and like I actually started to learn a bit of German and like Spanish.
Jaden says the team competition on Saturday was one of the highlights of the championships, where 7 teams with 4 in each group engaged in keen rivalry. He notes that his team placed second.
like we basically had 30 minutes to come up with a presentation on like a topic that they gave to us. So we only get like one chance to participate in the International Brain Week. So yeah, experience is the greatest teacher. Learn from your mistake, and you can always make new friends or interact with persons from all over the world now.
Jaden is encouraging interested students to ensure that they participate in the local competition for the opportunity to travel to France for the 2022 championships. He notes his efforts and successes came via the support from his parents, National Brain Week officials, coaches, among others. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
133 fewer fire calls were reported for the third quarter of 2021, according to statistics provided by the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Chrislina John has the details in this report.
People have been heeding the instruction, seek permission first before burning. In an exclusive interview with Constable Anthony Patterson attached to the fire department, he indicated that there has been a drastic decline in the number of fire calls from January to October this year as compared to the corresponding period last year.
There was a decrease in the amount of fire calls compared to the period. For last year, January to October, we had a number of 367 fire calls, and this year, for the same period, we have 234. So there's a difference of 56.8%.
People have been advised to make the request for permission to burn from the Ministry of Agriculture.
For the period January to October, we had no incident because persons have been following the protocols. They have following the guidelines. They have been going to the Ministry of Agriculture to obtain the license to burn, and most importantly, they have been informing the neighbors. Okay, that is part of the protocol. So we have not had any arrests relative to unscrupulous burning. Persons has been following the protocol.
For structural fires, he said, up to the third quarter of 2020, a total of 33 fires were recorded. However, this year saw an increase, 48 dwelling house fires. He highlighted the occurrence of other fires where there has been a reduction.
To the bushfire, we had a decrease of 62.1%, where we had 148 for last year, and we have 56 for this year. For last year, we had 646, and this year we have 8, so a difference of 33.3%. We have rubbish fire. We have 92 for last year, and this year we have 63. Right. We have vehicular fires. We had 11 for last year, and we have 9 for this year.
It appears from reports that people have become more civil in their actions, as the officer claims to have noticed a drop in the number of what he referred to as false calls from 16 last year to 7 this year. Chrislina John, GBN News.
This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Coming up, tourist vendors optimistic about the resumption of cruise ship arrivals, but call for their inclusion in the GTA's bubble packages. More news is next.
Darling, would you like some tea? I've made your favorite.
Well, thank you, darling. I'm here finishing my blog post to help homeowners understand their electricity bills. The left side of your bill shows the rates for electricity and the government charges. The middle portion shows the number of units you've consumed, plus the history of your usage over the last 8 months. And the right side shows how much you're being charged.
I really think people are going to value this information.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here even when the future seems unclear, because one thing is certain: you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Effective Monday, November 1st, the St. George's branch of CGI, Consumers Guarantee Insurance Company Limited, will be moving to its new location at Steele's Commercial Complex, Grandance, St. George's. Our telephone and fax numbers will remain the same: 440-0217 and 440-6447. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by this relocation, and we look forward to serving you.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
On Sunday, November 14th from 6 p.m. as Megaforce presents the 32nd Waggity Virtual Bingo.
And this time we're playing for
US $10,000. Tickets are only $10 US. Get them now from numerous box offices island-wide in Grenada. Or if you're playing overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, November 14th, you can win. Big! Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggity Virtual Bingo.
Have you heard?
It's the new way to play bingo.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank. Republic Bank remains committed to providing all its valued customers with high quality and personalized service in a safe and comfortable environment. In order to maintain COVID-19 protocols while serving you, it has become necessary to arrange an appointment with your relationship officer or the customer service representative at your branch for the following products and services: loans, overdrafts, credit cards, new accounts to include savings, checking, certificate of deposit, and foreign currency, reactivation of dormant accounts, and private banking for existing customers only. You may also log on to our website, complete the application form for the service required, and submit via email to your specific branch. Requests for appointment can also be emailed to customerservice@republicgrenada.com or via private message on our Facebook page. For private banking service, kindly contact your specific branch via telephone. We look forward to welcoming you.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. Government has confirmed that the 2-day fully vaccinated travelers to Grenada will soon be a thing of the past. It becomes the latest ease in restrictions in relation to the country's border protection measures that have been in place since 2020. Earlier this year, the 7-day period for quarantine for fully vaccinated individuals was reduced to 2 days.
Noting a steady increase in stay-over visitors as well as the number of flights to Grenada, Tourism Minister Clarice Modest-Cowan says Cabinet has taken the decision to further lift the restrictions at our borders. The tourism minister says the removal of the 2-day quarantine period for fully vaccinated individuals who have a negative PCR test on arrival will take effect from Monday.
Also, there are one or two little issues that need to be ironed out as to how we're going to do things, because we always have to be cautious about certain things. But the plan is to do away with quarantine for fully vaccinated persons, and within a week from now, that will happen. So,
Minister Modest Cowen notes that changes must also be made to the regulations.
And therefore, I believe that the removal of the quarantine requirement for fully vaccinated persons will certainly make a difference. Because in the industry, sometimes people come for 2 days, they come for a weekend. And if you have 2 days in quarantine, then it's a waste of time. And even if you have 1 week, to lose 2 days.
He said a major factor in this decision is the low positive case count witnessed over an extended period. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles says the total of imported cases is 132 from the 5,863 confirmed cases.
In October, we had 5,164 arrivals at Maurice Bishop International Airport. We had 4 positive cases detected. 3 were not vaccinated. 1 was fully vaccinated.
Unvaccinated Grenadians returning home are still required to quarantine, while only fully vaccinated non-nationals or visitors are allowed entry under the current regulations. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
As the Ministry of Tourism continues to tackle the issue of vaccination hesitancy among tourist vendors in Grenada, spice vendors at the St. George's Market were happy to announce their vaccination status, ready to welcome visitors and make some much-needed revenue. We get more in this Rena Pear-Thomas report.
Vendors at the St. George Spice Market say they are vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus and ready to welcome visitors to Spice Country.
I'm saying yes, fully vaccinated, because if the tourists and I'm fully vaccinated to come here, we supposed to fully vaccinate. Right now, I'm fully vaccinated. You understand? And the people that are selling spices for the tourists, they're supposed to take the vaccine. What good for the goose, good for the gander.
I fully vaccinated in the name of Jesus. So all I could tell my friends and my co-workers with me, go and get fully vaccinated. It's good.
Right now I haven't got a problem because I have underlying issues and I did took my vaccine very early. So if it's that way, I'm fully vaccinated.
I don't have a problem with that. I already did it. Okay? Because it doesn't make sense. You see what's going on and we can fight what's going on, and then but everybody are accustomed with vaccine. So I travel and I was going to look after my daughter, baby, and I had the vaccine.
So you see here, I'm vaccinated. So there's no problem. There's no problem. I'm accustomed to vaccination.
Vaccination hesitancy was widely noted among vendors, both at the Vendors Mall in Grand Anse and the booths at the Esplanade Mall. Tourism Minister Clarice Modest Cowen says those vendors are also a concern to the government in terms of livelihoods being at stake. She admitted that they are yet to hold dialogue with these vendors and other stakeholders as they prioritize the major tourist attractions.
Who have direct linkages with the cruise lines and so on, to get to this point where we are and to get a sort of light at the end of the tunnel, to get to that light in terms of the agreements on both sides with the protocols. And therefore, in the next few days, as Nikoyan said, we will be engaging them and we will be facilitating them in whatever way necessary so that they can fit into the protocols, whether they need some assistance in getting vaccinated, whatever needs to be done. And so over the period until May, we expect them to come in quickly.
As the tourism sector tried to rekindle, GTA officials are adamant that regulations must be established to safeguard the life of both visitors and locals. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
The winter cruise ship season is normally the period the Caribbean holds the most appeal to the U.S. and European markets. With the first cruise ship to Grenada docking Tuesday after over a year, vendors at the St. George's Spice Market welcome the resumption of cruises to their shores. Rena Perry-Thomas tells us more.
More than 200 cruise calls are expected in Grenada for the upcoming 2021-2022 cruise season, with the first cruise ship entering our shores today, Tuesday, November 9th. The positive impacts of the return of cruise ships to Grenada's port are expected to be felt throughout the island, giving a much-needed boost to many sectors. Vendors of the #1 spice market in St. George's say that after almost 2 years of no business, they are hoping that reopening the tourism industry and welcoming visitors will generate some much-needed income soon.
I hope for better. I hope the tourists come here and everyone go eat a food, because it's long since the COVID coming. It's not much doing here.
I hope it's for everything to come back to normal and more people to come back out and to things to be better and to pick up itself, because we does not get enough people inside of here. Because you know why? Outside have all the spices we have inside it. So we just hope it will be better.
Well, we're just hoping that they come and look after us as usual, or they used to before. Because they're long. Everything changes now, but we're hoping for the best.
Teams to also be fully vaccinated. Despite being optimistic, the vendors are also appealing to the Grenada Tourism Authority to place them in their bubble packages.
As though most of the time them ships come and everybody will say, sometimes they go all around, and when they come, they go straight back to the ship. So I hope this time they're going to do something better. And you know, selling a little tour here and give us a little sail too.
They might take an island ride, but for spending power, this is what we need to know. Is people going to be coming here to purchase our spices, and this will depend heavily on the GTA, what they're advertising.
For GBN News, I am Rena Perry-Thomas reporting.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Here's Rena Perry-Thomas once again.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter, as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
According to officers of the Royal Grenada Police Force, one man is in custody after a vehicular accident allegedly took the life of a woman in the St. Andrew area. The family is now crying out for justice as they grieve for their loved one. GBN brought this story, and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Cliver Williams said, sometimes some accidents are created by the negligence of persons who own and operate vehicles. Vehicles were designed to be inspected, maintained and serviced to keep them in proper running condition. So when that is not done and vehicle becomes on-road worthy and caused injuries or death to an innocent pedestrian, who is responsible? Can a vehicle maintain itself? Folks, ultimately, someone is responsible, and the blame belongs to the driver or owner of the vehicle. Let's cut the crap about accidents when they are the end results of someone's negligence. Lisa wrote, sad, very sad. Again, way too much accidents because of bad conditions of some vehicles and driving under the influence of alcohol. Time to change something about driving skills and how to drive with more caution. Everybody knows that speeding is a big issue also. You can see it every single day in some areas. Sorry for innocent victims again and again. Brenda said, although this was an accident and accidents do happen, that's what insurance is there for. And yes, there should always be an investigation into every accident to establish what happened. The driver could have applied the handbrakes to slow the movement of the vehicle and also tried to bank it. Experience makes a difference, and human errors can be reduced with stricter driving penalties. Kaya commented, it's sad, but accident happens. The car don't have to be at fault to roll back from a hill like that. May her soul rest in peace. Very very nice lady. I'm sure the young man that was driving is also hurt by the incident. Let's not judge. And finally, Charles Francois commented, I have to agree with you. This was not a crime. It was not intentional, but further investigation will reveal if the car was properly inspected, licensed, insured, and if the driver has license to operate the motor vehicle. Those will prove negligence or not. But as for now, this was a terrible, unfortunate accident, and my heart goes out to the family. That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And still ahead, government and the World Pediatric Project provide 2-day free clinic for children suffering from scoliosis. This is Primetime News.
Beep disinfectant spray is certified by a U.S. EPA compliant lab to kill the coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Beep disinfectant spray is now available in a convenient travel-size can that travels everywhere with you. Beep for a happy, healthy home.
Continue breastfeeding after an emergency or disaster. Breast milk provides all the nutrients your baby needs for the first 6 months of life. Breastfeeding is safest for babies at a time when water may be limited and unsafe. No need to worry about mixing formula. Breast is best. Forget the rest. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from PAHO.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Introducing YouTube and TikTok to the Digicel Prime Bundle. Now get 1 GB daily to enjoy more YouTube. Plus 1 GB daily to like more TikTok videos. It's simply more entertainment bundled together. Get a 7-day bundle for $35 in My Digicel. More apps, more data, more fun. Digicel, better together.
Welcome back. Government and World Pediatric Project are partnering to provide assistance for children in Grenada suffering from scoliosis. A free clinic will be provided Thursday and Friday of this week for children suffering from scoliosis. Marva Primus Joseph is the representative for the World Pediatric Project in Grenada and said attendees will be given specific appointment times to avoid crowding in recognition of the COVID-19 protocols.
Scoliosis is the issue with the spine, so you definitely will need an x-ray to visualize the spine, how the angle it is. So that's a must, and we're asking persons to come over to the day of the clinic with their weight and height. In that way, we'll process the clinic faster because we have a lot of persons who are already registered. So persons walking in with their height and weight, that can cut off some of the time that they would have to process in the registration on the day of the clinic. So in order to access that, you need your doctor to write up an x-ray form if you did not have a recent x-ray. So the x-ray plus you need a referral note. So the World Pediatric Project have a form. If by chance persons did not get to do that form, we would not say you won't be seen. So once you come with the x-ray and you come with your weight and height and you come with the child on the day, you will be seen.
If discovered that someone needs additional care, which may include traveling to another country, the organization provides that financial assistance.
This clinic is called a diagnostic clinic. So persons come, they will assess the persons, look at the x-ray, and determine if this child needs to continue with us physical therapy, or this child needs a brace, or this child could discontinue the brace because they are following up persons from 2019, or this child needs surgical intervention. In this case, surgery will be done in the United States. This is covered by WPP exclusively. So all the persons have to do is if they don't have a visa that is valid, they will process to get the visa. They will just have to pay to go to Barbados. Housing, flight, and the cost of the surgery is covered by WPP. These are the same persons who go into adulthood who has a lot of back pain. They will have to take a lot of sick leave. So addressing it at the pediatric level can be, that the quality of that child's life would be much better.
Several people benefited from the project in 2019. For the two-day upcoming clinic this week, more than 60 people have registered to attend so far. Anyone interested in attending these clinics is asked to contact Primus Joseph at 405-9700 to register for the clinic. Again, that number, 405-9700. And now let's take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
This is a heart-shaped Irish potato. Irish potatoes are named after Ireland because they are closely associated with the Irish potato famine, a historical famine caused by a mold infestation of the Irish potato crop. It has rich contains of vitamins and minerals. Therefore, there are a lot of healthy benefits of eating Irish potato. Our citizen journalist says, quote, "It doesn't matter the challenges of this life. Love can be found everywhere and in anything. Just to remind us that God is love," unquote. We thank our eyesore reporter for this submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. Coming up next, the weather report and forecast, followed by sports and our probe around the globe.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communals. Contact us today.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
And here's what you can expect tonight in the weather. The minimum temperature is expected to be 23.5 degrees Celsius. The weather will be generally fair, increasing in cloudiness by morning. Winds will be east-northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves 2 to 4 feet in open waters. Tides will be high at 8 p.m. and low at 3 a.m. On Wednesday, sunrise will be 3 minutes after 6 a.m., sunset 5:41 p.m. Partly cloudy conditions are expected, becoming breezy and hazy, with brief light showers improving overnight. On Thursday, sunrise will once again be 3 minutes after 6 in the morning, sunset 5:40 p.m. It will be fair at first, breezy and hazy, becoming partly cloudy during the afternoon with light to moderate showers. And then on Friday, the sunrise will be at 6:04 a.m. with sunset 5:40 p.m. Partly cloudy conditions are expected with the occasional isolated showers. And that's it for the weather report and forecast. Stay tuned. Sports is up next. Good evening, sporting fans. We bowl off this evening with cricket. Rubbing salt into the gaping wound of their poor performance at the ICC T20 World Cup in the UAE, the West Indies will have to play an additional qualifying round against the likes of Scotland and Namibia to make the Super 12s in next year's Men's T20 World Cup in Australia after missing out on the 8 automatic places. 2012 and 2016 champions West Indies lost 4 out of 5 matches in this year's Super 12, beating only Bangladesh, and were skittled out for just 55 by England in their opening game. The defeat to Australia on Saturday saw them slip to 10th in the ICC T20 international rankings, while Sri Lanka, who also had to qualify for the Super 12 stage at this year's World Cup, are 9th. The winners and runners-up of the 2021 World Cup plus the next 6 highest-ranked teams progress straight through, with those spots taken by England, Australia, India, Pakistan, South Africa, New Zealand, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Bangladesh lost all 5 of their Super 12 matches this year, but have risen to 8th in the rankings following recent home series wins over Australia and New Zealand. West Indies and Sri Lanka will be joined in next year's opening round by Scotland and Namibia, whose places were secured thanks to them reaching the Super 12 in 2021, plus 4 qualifiers. Meanwhile, Deandra Doughton smashed a brilliant century as West Indies defeated Pakistan by 45 runs in the first women's ODI on Monday. The West Indies opener smashed 132 off 146 balls and smoked 18 fours and 2 sixes, following Pakistan's stand-in captain Sidra Nawaz opted to bowl after winning the toss. This was Doughton's best score in the format.
West Indies head coach Courtney Walsh had set getting over 250 runs as one of the objectives going into this crucial series, and he could not have asked for a more ideal start from the Caribbean side. Captain Stephanie Taylor called wrong and saw her team inserted on a hot morning in Karachi. Openers Deandra Doughton and Rashada Williams got off to a good start before the Jamaican went for 15 in the 12th over. Kashona Knight coming in at 3, then retired hurt in the 13th over, while Taylor, the next batter in, did not stay much longer at the crease, making an 11-ball 6. But Hayley Matthews then joined Doughton in the middle and both steadied the innings. They kept the scoreboard ticking over regularly, which was punctuated with boundaries as Matthews brought up her half-century of 58 balls. It was soon Doughton's turn to bring up her big milestone as she got to her century of 124 balls. It was a player of the match performance in a knock comprised of 18 fours and 2 sixes. The returning Shemaine Campbell also contributed 23 in the West Indies total of 253 for 8. Anam Amin was the pick of the Pakistani bowling, taking 5 for 35. In reply, Pakistan were restricted to 208 for 9. Ali Riaz top scored for the home side with 46, supported by Imran Javed with 40. Matthews returned from her half-century performance to take 3 for 31, while Shakira Selman took 2 for 35. Captain Stephanie Taylor commended Doughton for her knock, and Doughton says maintaining her focus was critical after losing batting partners early in her innings. The second ODI is set for Thursday at the same venue. Karen Madden, TVJ Sports.
And now let's move to basketball. 2 Jamaican players have been included in Jamaica's women's team, while an exclusively overseas-based unit will represent the men's outfit at the 3 AmeriCup basketball tournament in Miami, Florida from this Friday to Sunday. We get more in this report.
Local-based players Ashley Gordon and Tracy Ann Kelly, who has replaced Sasha Dixon, will be joined by Antoinette Bannister and Josiane Johnson, who plies her trade in France. The women's team will face off with Trinidad and Tobago, Guatemala and Guyana on the opening day for a spot in Pool D, which will have Brazil and the Dominican Republic. The 2 local-based female players will depart on Thursday. Coach O'Neil Brown believes that the team has a decent chance at the upcoming event. Meanwhile, Tavon Prince, Jabulani Newby, Kevin Foster and Romaine Thomas will represent Jamaica's men's team. Thomas and Foster were members of the senior national team which competed at the Central American and Caribbean pre-qualifiers in El Salvador in April. The Jamaican men will face Uruguay and Haiti in Group A qualifying action, with the winner to join Canada and Argentina in Pool B of the main draw. National coordinator Rick Turner noted the chemistry between 2 of his players, which he believes will help their chances. Turner is eagerly anticipating how his charges will execute. The upcoming tournament is the first phase of qualifiers for 3-on-3 basketball for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Spencer Darlington, TVJ Sports.
And that's the sports news for now. Stay with us. Global developments are next. Tonight we start in Guyana, where teachers may soon be given a deadline to get jabbed. If more teachers do not get the COVID-19 jab of their own volition, a deadline could be put in place to help motivate them to do it. The Education Minister believes teachers getting inoculated are no longer a bureaucratic issue, but rather a matter of children's safety. Here is Kendall Richmond with the details.
Minister of Education Priya Manik-Chan during the presentation of the Cape and Sea Sector Performers 2021 report at the National Center for Educational Resource Development on Friday. On September 6th, the doors to the country's public schools opened for partial face-to-face learning. However, the reopening process was not entirely a smooth one, since many teachers challenged the government's vaccination policy. This resulted in the staging of at least 2 protest actions from the Guyana Teachers Union. The body's president, Mark Light, had urged teachers to strike if the ministry followed through with the no vaccine card, no entry threat at public schools. These protest actions were, however, suspended following an announcement that the union will be engaging the ministry on the way forward. Against this backdrop, it was expressed by Minister Manik-Chan that getting all teachers fully vaccinated is the way forward, since vaccination is no longer a bureaucratic issue, but rather a matter of children's safety. More importantly, if teachers choose to remain unvaccinated, there will be tremendous ripple effects.
Teachers are going to be unable to travel to go to conferences or visit places. Teachers are going to be unable to travel to visit their family members. Teachers are going to be unable to access higher learning, as will the rest of the population.
The view was shared that the world is moving to a place where teachers, as well as the rest of the population, will be left behind if they are unvaccinated. The ministry continues to work with teachers to ensure that they access the COVID-19 vaccines. More so, the Pfizer vaccine shots are also now available for the percentage of teachers who were requesting that specific type of vaccine. As such, the minister explained that the relatively soft approach to getting teachers vaccinated will not be something that will be carried on forever. Meanwhile, now that both the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have approved the Pfizer vaccine for emergency use in children between the ages of 5 and 11, the schedule for the vaccine's administration locally is almost completed, the minister said. Locally, the Pfizer vaccine has been used to immunize 18,636 adolescents between the ages of 12 and 17. For the HGP Nightly News, Kendall Richmond.
Monday marked another major milestone for Antigua, where the country's harbors welcomed 2 ships in port. The Celebrity Apex of Celebrity Cruises and Ada Luna of Ada Cruises arrived to a resounding reception from officials and the local media respectively. The Celebrity Apex, which is part of the Celebrity Cruise Line fleet, is on her maiden voyage to the Caribbean, with Antigua being one of its first ports of call.
It's a great day for cruise tourism here in Antigua. For the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic, 2 ships are docked here at Heritage Quay.
The Celebrity Apex and Aida Luna were docked at Heritage Quay on Monday, carrying a total of about 3,500 passengers. Tourism Minister Charles Fernandez says it's a positive sign for cruise tourism. It's also the first time one of the ships has been to the island. Health measures are also in place. The captains of the ships exchanged plaques with the Tourism Minister during short ceremonies. Captain for Celebrity Apex, Demetrius Kafetsis, says he's happy to be here. Aida Luna Captain Volker Baumgart expressed similar sentiments.
We are very happy that after all this crisis, we are back here.
But it was the passengers who appeared to be the happiest to be on the island. Following the resumption of cruise tourism in July after a hiatus caused by the pandemic, the port operator says the arrival of 2 cruise ships is monumental.
All the persons who depend on cruise tourism, today marks a very important day.
Jessica Russell, ABS News.
And now let's move internationally. Bolivia's transport and retail unions began an indefinite strike on Monday. They are protesting against a law on so-called illicit profits and terrorist financing. Critics say the legislation is a government tactic to seize private property and crack down on dissent.
They say they're on the streets to fight government attempts to centralize power and crack down on dissent. Thousands of people turned out on Monday across Bolivia. Protesters are concerned about a law the government wants to pass to fight illicit profits and terrorism. Nilda Quispe Mojo says the law will hurt people like her.
We want the law to be annulled. There are articles that harm us, that could make us lose all our belongings. They should fight for our country, for our well-being. We are here for our children.
Experts say the law violates rights to due process and could be used to persecute political opponents. The nation is deeply divided since Evo Morales was forced out of office in 2019 after a disputed election that forced him to leave the country. Luis Arce from Morales' Mass Party won the elections last year with a landslide vote. During his State of the Union speech on Monday, he said he has the responsibility of helping Bolivia move forward, and that's why he's hoping to pass a series of laws that will help the country recover from the pandemic.
When the people voted last year, it was set clear that they did not want unconstitutional governments and gave us legitimacy to govern. It told us they want political, economic, and social stability to advance. They trusted the economic reconstruction of our country, of the health system after the pandemic, the right to education, and showed us the way of peace through justice.
But not everyone agrees. In the lowland city of Santa Cruz, the stronghold for the conservative opposition, protesters block roads and set tires on fire. The government says the opposition is using the law as an excuse to generate instability in the country. The strike, while widespread, does not have the support of a major labor union close to the government. But on Monday, thousands showed their concern on the streets. They believe the laws to fight what the government calls illicit profits could lead to an attack on private property. And that's why they vow to remain on the streets until the government gives in to their demands. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera.
And that's it for regional and international news. Stay with us. A recap of the headlines is next. And now let's take a look back at what made news this evening. Political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, says government's extended state of emergency is not necessary. Quarantine requirement to be dashed from Monday for fully vaccinated visitors to Grenada. Tourist vendors optimistic about the resumption of cruise ship arrivals, but calls for their inclusion in the GTA's bubble packages. National Brain Bee champion Jaden Stanislaus embraces his experience at the International Brain Bee World Championships held last weekend. In regional developments, Guyana's teachers may soon be given a deadline to get jabbed. And internationally, Bolivia unions go on strike over new terror financing law. And in sports, West Indies women smashed Pakistan by 45 runs in first ODI series. That's the end of the GBN Nightly News for Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd, our GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh on behalf of the entire news team. Enjoy the rest of your night.